KIX is retiring. That's the news on the streets, right? And you're watching Artist on Record, your ultimate intimate conversation with your favorite artist. I'm ADIKA, your host, and on this exciting episode, we have the honor of sitting down with two incredible members from one of my favorite bands from the 80s. Before Guns N' Roses, before Poison, there was a band called KIX. Today we have Ronnie 1010 Younkins and Brian Forsythe in the hot seat. As many of you know, KIX is preparing for their final show in Maryland this September, marking their retirement from the stage. But before that, we have the privilege of digging into the past and future with Ronnie and Brian. Our conversation will touch upon the early days of KIX, reminiscing about their iconic journey. But in this clip, we're going to talk about the early days. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up and drop your comments down below. And now, let's dive into this segment with Ronnie Younkins and Brian Forsythe of KIX. You look like you did back in the day when I used to see you guys play Midnight Dynamite era, all that stuff. This is crazy that the whole thing is coming to an end. It's sad in a way too. You know, it's like end of a chapter, you know, of that era, because I hold you guys as a fan of the band. I used to go see you guys play, and it was just like the biggest thing for us New Yorkers in Brooklyn. Like from Brooklyn, we go to Lemoore to see you cats play, and there was nothing like it back then. And you know, there's a lot of people now that they get to see KIX on the cruise. They see the new KIX and all that. But back then, for you guys watching, man, when I would go see these guys play, the energy, and it was so professional and it was so rock and roll, and each guy had his own identity. You know, there was punk, there was Stones. It was just, back then it was a tough time for you guys because you guys really didn't fit with what was going on there. You weren't a metal band at all. You were a true rock and roll band.
It took quite a few times in Brooklyn for people to start to catch on to us.
It did.
And then it clicked.
That's so crazy.
Packing
so you remember the first time playing in Brooklyn? Do you guys recall that?
I don't remember the first time. We played there so many times.
Yeah.
You don't remember the first time you had Brooklyn pizza?
But I just remember it was kind of tough the first few times. People were kind of scratching their heads like, who are these guys? What are they doing? But then it caught on. I think Midnight Dynamite record helped a lot.
I kind of have a vague memory, the early days of playing there. We called it, they stand there with their arms crossed.
Yeah.
A bunch of musicians checking us out and they wouldn't react.
We're playing Chuck Berry licks, and those guys were doing all this.
Yeah,
release. That's right. That's right.
Took a while. Yeah,
because you guys had the Les Paul, Ronnie. You were playing the Les Paul too back then, right?
Yeah.
You came out there. So back in that time, that period, a lot of guitar players weren't playing the Les Paul.
That's true. Yeah.
That was the era of the pointy guitar.
Hockey stick. Let's play hockey stick. So uncool. No offense, anybody watching. Anybody is like this.
No, just call it as it is. They're just uncool.
No, because as a band, you guys didn't have a big drum set, right? The kit was never that big. It was
not until we turned it into a truck for Land Rover. I had to say that. We not to get off track, but we turned our Land Rover was the song on Midnight Dynamite. So Donnie had this great idea of turning the drum riser into a truck, and which we did. We had the panels of the fenders that velcroed on with the industrial Velcro.
Yeah.
And we had headlights that lit up. We had smokestacks behind that blew smoke out, and
a bumper. In a front bumper.
The front bumper and the grill, I think, because Donnie and I got the grill at the junkyard near Mountain View. And then the tires that were cut in half lengthwise, and the wheels. And that truck was ready to go, man. It was cool as shit. Yeah, it's really
that's
cool.
Let's go back a little bit here because I know we always talked about, but since I got you guys here, meeting Ronnie meeting Brian, Brian meeting Ronnie. You guys recall the first time you guys met each other?
Not the first time, but I remember seeing Brian around town and seeing him play. I would always go see his bands play. But I don't
Yeah,
think,
the
where
band
was
that
it
I was
first?
in, Skip's band had a PA he used to rent to you guys.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he'd bring it and he'd run the sound too. And I used to ride along with him.
That's probably when I met you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then John Rempe and I was a Hot Rod, band Hot Rod. We borrowed that PA from you guys. I remember returning it. I remember John dragging those new cabinets across his big rocks in your driveway. I was like, he's tearing all that brand new PA up. I was like, but yeah, that's right. The PA. That's how we met, through Skip's band, his bass player.
So that's how you. What happened to Skip? Where's Skip these days?
Unfortunately, he died a couple years ago.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
wow. Great bass player.
did
Quite
he?
the character.
Beginning of the band of KIX. Who was there? Who met Steve and who got who into the band and all that? How did it all gel then?
Well, Brian and Donnie and I played together for a couple years, and then our drummer's sister dated the bass player in Steve's band and told us about this guy could sing really well, sing high.
Which is weird because it was his band and it ended up breaking up his band. But maybe he was done with his band. He wanted a way out.
Yeah.
That's what happened, huh? It was the guy's man, that guy, and then he got brought Steve in, and that was the end of him.
His name was Joe Procopo. He was our sound man. Great guitar player, and he's a great bass player. Great guy. Matter of fact,
so we gained a good singer and a great sound man.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. How long did he stay with you guys for as a sound guy?
Till he got kicked off the bus in Houston, Texas.
Hold on, he got kicked off the bus.
He wouldn't fix one of my leads to the PA. Every night I'd go out, we were on the Rat tour. I'd start, I think it was Rat.
Yeah.
I'd start the intro to Red Light, Green Light, TNT, you know, and just no Ronnie in the PA. And it happened like two nights. And that was
nights, but he said he was claiming it was a different problem each night.
Oh yeah, right.
Second time it wasn't his fault. It was some guy down at the stage level.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Which caused a big argument between him and Donnie, and he got kicked off the bus. We left him on the curbside with his suitcase.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking.
Oh
Very
my God.
heartbreaking.
You left him on this. Any money in his pocket at least?
But he did
get it eventually.
He did get to eat before because I remember there was food flying around backstage. There was a little rumble, you could say.
It got to the point where he just had it with Donnie and attacked, like across Steve and knocked everybody's plates went flying. Rice was everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Actually, strangled Donnie. That's why he got kicked out.
He strangled Donnie? Is that what happened? Did he really?
Got his hands around his neck anyway.
Hold on. This is see, kids. These are rock and roll stories. We got a sponsor. We got to do a commercial break right now. If you ever want to strangle somebody, drink some cannoli cream coffee, everybody, by Parisi, my friend. That's right. He's friends with Dice. He's friends with me, and he can be friends with you. This bag is right. Cannoli cream. And this episode is brought to you by ADIKA and Coffee Talk. Now back to our regular daytime show. So we're talking about the craziness on the road with the band KIX back in the day. people getting strangled, people getting left on the side of the road. This guy did this guy did that. There should be a book written about this. This is incredible. KIX is always, you know, I don't even think people know about people. Do you think you have Motley Crue to dirt? I bet there's a lot of dirty stories with KIX, right?
Yeah, there are.
Let me ask you: does anybody
Not
know?
as wild as the Crew, though.
Not as wild as the Crew.
Not as a grand, not as
yeah,
much
we were
grand
small
scale.
time. Yeah.
Did you guys do any tours with Motley Crue?
No.
Ever, huh? You ever felt like some of these bands were maybe intimidated by you guys? Because you guys were so great, man. I mean, still are a great band, but back then, KIX, I used to go see KIX. I'm like, well, you know, the record labels, nobody knew where to put you guys because you guys started really early. I remember seeing you in the magazines. There was the ad, and you see Steve with the white jacket. Then you guys, it's like a black and white ad. I used to go, who is this band? They look so cool. And Steve was the only guy who could wear a white motorcycle jacket and make it look tough. He was, you know, it was cool. It made me buy a white leather jacket.
All right.
But do you think there was just a lot of people like, hey, if we get this band on a tour, they're going to blow us away? No. Do you ever feel like that?
No, I never thought that.
No? Brian, come on, something for Blabbermouth or anything? No?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I mean, maybe
now
that's
he
why.
said, okay, a little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Let's be honest. You would a Jewish guy. You could talk to me. Nobody watches my channel.
Money.
Yeah,
we definitely.
Yeah.
100%. Did you ever get attitude from a band out there that's like, hey, you know what?
Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to remember.
Well, Triumph.
Oh yeah, right.
They hated us.
Yeah.
Because we got kicked off their tour when we started getting over. The crowd started liking us, and then they said, you know, that was the end.
That was the end. So Triumph, the Canadian band, right? Correct?
Yeah. Wasn't the best match.
Canadian. No. They're too passive.
Kind of different, especially like the first. What was it? Spokane or no? We didn't play Spokane. Or what was the first one? Seattle. When Steve doing the rap during yeah. Steve thought it'd be a good idea not to do the one on the record, but to do one about being born. And so it kind of like cheap guy. He put a plastic bag over a trash bag. So he was inside this trash bag, like he was being born and coming out of the womb. And they did not get it at all. No. So we
were basically doing our club act on a big stage, and it didn't work.
But I got to hand it to him for trying. But then we got pelted with quarters. I got hit with a Jack Daniels bottle. Donnie got hit with. Yeah, I got hit with Jack. Donnie got hit with something.
Yeah, beer bottle.
You were picking up. You picked up the quarters.
Yeah, but I don't know why they.
Poor.
I don't know why they let people in there with bottles. It was crazy. It must have been bring your own bottle or something. Kind of place.
Think so. Yeah.
How long were you guys on tour with Triumph?
5 shows.
That's it?
A couple weeks.
5 shows. They knew. Were they Mormons or something? When they saw the pregnant thing, the womb, hey, we can't have this. This is against what we believe in. Look, I'm the one going to get us in trouble. Like, I got to be outrageous. I can't hold back. It's the Parisi coffee. It's got me fired up right now.
You have the show.
Yeah, but like, really, come on. I love it. Debbie Muller is saying, Brian picking up quarters right here. And Debbie, epic song, Don't Close Your Eyes. I mean, I can't give you, if you're watching, I don't even know one of your songs. And to be honest with you, I beg for guests. I could give to a rat's ass for you guys to come on my show. Treat the KIX band like that.
We even bought their CD or cassette. Didn't we go out and get their cassette?
And they threw you off?
Yeah.
Ronnie, let me help you out right now. Hey, Triumph, give the guy back his money. He doesn't even have give the guy back his money. You send it to ADIKA.
That's right.
Ronnie, I'll split it with you. I'll take it.
Okay.
That's what we do here.
I could use the money.
Yeah, after the first gig, we went out and bought the cassette, and we were gonna try to kiss up to him a little bit, and we were waiting for them to arrive. We were outside the venue, and we were going to get them to sign it. And they pull up. It was the bass player that got out and just pushed us out of the way and walked on in. And we took it, set threw it in the gutter, and we all took turns stomping on it.
And then Ronnie walked across the stage while we were playing.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in Sacramento or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he just like walked across the stage like, oh, there's a roadie.
Yeah, and then the next thing we knew, your amp got unplugged mysteriously.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So
It's all coming back to me now.
Yeah, so they were out to Triumph was not nice to you guys. They were out to get KIX.
Well,
they made fun of our leather jackets too. That was the straw that broke the camel's back right there. Make fun of our leather jacket because you ain't shit without a leather jacket, right, Stefan ADIKA?
Absolutely, that's right. Hey, you know my motto: dress British, think Yiddish. You need a leather jacket. That's it. So knowing the way Donnie Purnell is and was, and I don't know, he's like the Howard Hughes of rock and roll. There's no sightings of him. But how was he acting about this? I bet he wanted to murder somebody. He must have been.
Yeah,
pissed.
he would go out, like when we'd enter the stage, he'd go racing out there like in a frenzy, and he'd kick his mic stand sideways, and it would take out a whole row of chaser lights in the front. And that just made everything worse. The roadies used to sit there steaming. They wanted to kill him. But it was so funny. They had to go out there and unscrew those broken balls.
Oh yeah.
But
the whole time I know Donnie was thinking we got to make our show better. I know that was going through his mind. We're not good enough yet. We got to make this better. And so I'm sure we had to try a lot more once we got back home, licked our wounds and got back to practice.
That was Mr. Ronnie Younkins and Brian Forsythe of KIX. In the meantime, you can catch this episode unedited in our members only club right here on YouTube, or join us in our VIP All Access and Patreon. But don't worry, we'll be releasing more episodes of this interview, so make sure you hit that notifications bell, subscribe, put your comments down below, and as always, give us a thumbs up, and remember, who loves you, baby? We do. And of course, don't forget to click on the cool box here. There might be something you might like to watch later. And if you love rock and roll music, check out Ronnie Younkins' new band, the Blues Vultures. If you love good old rock and roll music, you'll love this band. Links will be in our description down below, or click on the link above for music, merch, or be a part of their community.